المصنفات نعم أن المصنفات في علم النحو كثيرة جدا، ومما لا يشك أحد فيه أن ما ألف في هذا العلم كثيرة جدا. يعني فلو طالب العلم وجد نفسه في مثل هذه الأحوال فماذا يجب عليه أن يفعل؟ ماذا يجب عليه أن يفعل؟ فبلا شك لو سيأخذ يعني اجتهادات من تلقاء نفسه فلا شك أنه سيجد صعوبات في الطريق. فلذلك ينصح أن طالب العلم دائما يرجع إلى أهل العلم، خصوصا لو وجد نفسه في مثل هذه الأحوال. What I just said in Arabic language now is that بلا شك there is no doubt that as far as this knowledge is concerned, this ilmu an-Naḥw is concerned, there are a lot of books that have been written about this knowledge. Type, as a student of knowledge, if you found yourself in this kind of condition that you want to study a field and you realize that the books in that field is much, so what are you supposed to do? So saying طالب العلم, that is compulsory upon him أن يرجع إلى أهل الفن، يرجع إلى العلماء. A talib needs to return. In fact, is the most on him, is upon him to return to the scholars, to know, okay, now the books that have been putting down this topic on this particular subject I want to study is very much. So what am I to start with? Jade, for the benefit of this, I'm saying is that the scholars, not only in Naḥw, not only in Lughah, but in any other field, the scholars, they put all of the books written in Naḥw into three. They make the taqsim of the books of Naḥw into how many? Three. فمن المصنفات ما وضع للمبتدئين. There are some of the books that have been written that it is being prepared for the beginners. And then the scholars will say, okay, there are some of the books written that is being wudi'a li al-mutawassitin, those that are in the intermediary. They are not beginners. They've passed the level of what? Al-marhala al-ibtida'iyya. They are now in the next marhala. That is what? Marhala al-mutawassita. Then there are books that have been prepared for al-marhala al-mutaqaddimin. So you have books now. Now the scholars, they've simplified everything for you in such a way. They said, okay, this particular topic or this particular subject, there are many books, but you can summarize all of these books in three. There are books that have been, that it has been, prepared for the beginners. There are books that are mainly for the mutawassitin, that is the intermediary. There are books that are for the al-mutaqaddimin, that is the advanced. So now you now look at yourself and know which level do you belong to. And then you seek the advice of the scholars. They will tell you, okay, this level you belong to, this is the book. Because if you know the level you belong to, still there is still another assignment on you. Okay, which book is the best of book in this marhala? Which book is the best of book in the marhala kaza wa kaza? Which book is the best of book in this marhala? So you have to know all of this. Now the scholars now said what? Li al-marhala al-ibtida'iyya, that is the beginner level, the best of books. This is from the what? This is from the da'ab. This is from the what? The method of the scholars. That they will tell you that, for instance, when you come to Sahih al-Bukhari, they tell you that the best of book or the best of commentary to Bukhari is what? Fathul Bari. When you go to Muslim, they tell you that the best of commentary is there is the Sharh of Imam al-Nawawi. When you go to, for instance, Arba'un al-Nawawi, they will tell you the best of Sharh there is what? Jami al-Ulum of Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali. So the same thing you have here. So now as a marhala ibtida'i, so which marhala ibtida'iyya, which book is the best of book that is good for a beginner that want to start Naḥw to begin with? The scholars, yani this is ittifaqan. They said Ājrūmiyya, al-Ājrūmiyya is the best of book for the beginners. Okay, which one is the best of book for the marhala al-mutawassita? Here there are difference of what? Opinions. Some of the scholars they say what? Al-Mutammimah. That is the completion. Mutammimah, the actual name of the book is what? Al-Mutammimah al-Ājrūmiyya. From the title, they say this book is the completion of Al-Ājrūmiyya. For that, it should be the book that will be the next after Al-Ājrūmiyya. Some other scholars said no, it should be what? Al-Mulha. Because Mulha followed the method of what? You know, this manzuma method, this poetry form. So, and then if you are going to marhala al-mutaqaddimin, you are going to study what? Al-Alfiyya. And Alfiyya is in the poetry form as well. So Mulha will like prepare towards that. So it's the best. Some of the scholars said no, it's what? Al-Qatr. That is Qatr al-Nada. So these are difference of what? Opinions. But Al-Muhim, you know that all of these three books are for the marhala al-mutawassita. So you take one based on the advice of your teacher. That is after you've done with the what? Marhala al-ibtida'iyya. When you're going to what? Al-marhala al-mutawassita, then now you choose one of these three based on your advice of your teacher. You are done with that, then you go to what? Marhala al-mutaqaddimin. The best of book in this marhala is what? Alfiyya of Ibn Mālik. Jayid. So now our discussion centers on Al-Ājrūmiyya. Who is the author of the book? In summary, we all know who Imam Al-Ājrūm is. Ibn Ājrūm is kunya is Abu ʿabdillāh, and his name is Muḥammad bin Dāwūd. That sword there in what is either you say what? As-Ṣanhājī, or you say what? As-Ṣinhājy, or you say what? As-Ṣanhājī. They said as-sword bi-tathlīth. You can make it fatha, you can make it kasra, you can make it dhamma. All of it goes. Jayid. So he died in the year 723. It is said that he died in the they gave birth to him the year that Ibn Malik died. The year that Ibn Malik died, that was the year he was given birth to, and he died in the year 723. Now, after understanding this fact that okay, I have a lot of books before me to study in Naḥw, which one am I to start with? You already know the hint now. The scholars, they've already advised. This is how we share the books, and this is the best of each marhala, and this is what you have to start from. Now you've chosen Al-Ājrūmiyya. Before you read a book, you need to know something about the book itself. Number one, you need to know is that this book is on which field? There is no doubt that the book is in the field of what? Naḥw. Jayid. If the book is in the field of Naḥw, so when you hear the scholar or the Sheikh al-Imam Ibn Ājrūm defining anything, you should know that that definition is in accordance or in according to the istilahat of the ulama of an-Naḥw. That is why عندما يقول الإمام الكلام هو اللفظ المركب, you should know that is الكلام عند النحاة. الكلام عند النحاة. Because الكلام في اللغة is not الكلام في النحو. Jade. So the book is a book of Naḥw. Jade. That is another benefit. Another benefit attached to this is as well the way you have different opinions or different school or different madhahib in the field of fiqh, in the field of other field in the deen. This is how you have difference of opinion or difference of mazahib or school, madrasa, in the field of Naḥw as well. But all of these madhahib in Naḥw, they all return back to two madhab. All of them, they are from these two madhab. The first madhab is the madhab of the people of Baṣrah. And this is what me and you belongs to. This is what mostly we speak. When we speak Arabic, we follow the rules, we follow the laws. We are more of Baṣriyyūn than any other. Jade. So you have the madhab of the Kūfā, the people of Kūfā, the Al-Kūfā. Jade. Then you have other mazahib. All of other mazahib, they are from these two madhaban. Like when you talk of the madhab of the what? Baghdad, the madhab of the people of what? Al-Baghdad. It is nothing but based on the fact that it is the mixture of the madhab, is the mixture of both Baṣrah and Kūfā that gave birth to what? Baghdad. It is said, just like it is in the what? Nashat al-Naḥw, that there was a battle or fight or war, that the people of Baṣrah moved down to Baghdad, just like the people of Kūfā also moved down to Baghdad. So now these two scholars with the two different madhahib, they all met in what? Baghdad. And now that gave birth to another mazhab now. You understand? Meaning the mazhab of the people of Baghdad now is the mixture of both the mazhab of Baṣrah and the mazhab of what? Kūfā, all together. Jade. And then other mazahib as well. Now, which one, we're talking of these two major mazahib, which one is al-Imām belongs to? Some of the scholars, they said, Imam Ibn Ājrūm belongs to the mazhab of the Kūfā. And what is their view? They mentioned a lot of view, but the one I will mention to us now is as regards to some of the terms he used. Like the word khavd. Khavd is the term, is from the word istilahat of the what? The Kūfā. If not, the Baṣriyyūn will say what? Jar. They will say what? Jar. So we know now in our Arab, what do? Do we say it fil bayt? We say what? Al bayt ismu majrur, or we say ismu makhfud. So we will know that mostly what we do, we are more of Baṣriyyūn than we are to what? Yani we are more of Baṣriyyūn, or we are closer to Baṣriyyūn compared to what? Our closeness to what? The Kūfiyyūn. Yes, there are difference of view, and then beside that, there are some views that the scholars will see that the Kūfiyyūn are upon is more accurate. Jade. So, but most of the time, what the Baṣriyyūn is upon is what is seen to be more accurate. Jade. For instance, you say what? Ja'a Muḥammadu. You say the Muḥammad is the fa'il. But when you said Muḥammadu Ja'a, Muhammad that was fa'il in the previous, in this first sentence now, in this second one now has become what? Mubtada. Why it becomes Mubtada? Because you started the sentence with the Muhammad, according to the Baṣriyyūn. But when you go to the people of Kūfā, they tell you that Muhammad is the fa'il. Even though when you make the taqdeem or the ta'khir of Muhammad, Muhammad maintained that fact that he is the fa'il. Jade. According to the Baṣriyyūn, they said no. Fa'il, among the condition of a fa'il is that it must come after the fi'il. This condition is not welcomed within the Kūfiyyūn. Jade. So where do al-Imām Ibn Ājrūm belongs to? The summary of the discussion is that Imam Ibn Ājrūm, yes, there are some of the ta'thirat from even the istilahat that he used, like the istilahat and some of the view that he mentioned, even in this book, this Martin, you will see him that it's more of what upon the Madhhab of the Kūfiyyīn. But is it really a Kufi? The answer is no. Rather, just like it is being addressed, the Imam himself is addressed as an Imam. So he has his own tarjihat. He has his own, how did they say it? He has his own view on mas'ala. He take from both Madhāhib and then keep what he sees that is not correct from both of the Madhāhib. So it's not like he's inclined to one than the other. He makes his own tarjihat. He has his own madrasa. And that is why it's referred to as al-Imām. Jade. That is another point. Another point again as regards to the book itself. This book is a blessed book. The scholars will say from the sign that this author of this book, wrote this book, this matni, sincerely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is for the fact that you see the book, that everywhere you go, they are teaching the book, they are reading the book, you understand? Hakada, that this is from the alamat of what? Ikhlas of the Sahib al-Matn, that is Ibn Ājrūm, rahmatullahi alayhi. Jade. So, after knowing all of this, we need to know, why is it that the scholars, they always refer to this book? Because somebody will come and say, I don't know why scholars keep giving advice that we should start with Ājrūmiyya. Yet somebody came and he wrote a book, he titled the book as what? Al-Mutammima or Mutammimatul Ājrūmiyya, because he came. Imam Ibn Ājrūm left a lot of things. He didn't talk about them. And then we needed all of this thing that he left. Ya akhi, the response to you is that Ibn Ājrūm only put down things that is necessary for the beginners to know. And that is why the scholars are not just advising with the book, but they are advising because of what they know the book contains. That is the best book for the beginners. If you want to study Naḥw, if you don't understand Al-Ājrūmiyya, forget it. Al-Ājrūmiyya is the best option. So he left a lot of things. He wasn't discussing about them purposely. And that is because he left the book, or he prepared the books for the beginners. Jade. So now if I'm to study Al-Ājrūmiyya, it's like I'm going to study about 6 things. So if I'm studying Ājrūmiyya, meaning I need to understand 6 things. I need to be good. I need to make what? It's gone of 6 things. The scholar will say what? فَهْوَ الْمَتْنِ. What the matn contains. Number 1, I should understand the topic al-kalam. Number 2, I should understand the topic al-i'rab. And I should be able to do them. Number 3, I should be able to differentiate between the what? Al-af'al. Number 4, I should be able to know the al-marfu'at. There are some names that when they comes, they are what? Always they are what? Marfu'at. So what are those names that are marfu'at? We will know them. Then you have the what? Al-mansubat. There are some names that in their position in the sentence, they are always mansubat. Jade. Then the last one, that is number 6, is what? Al-makhfudat. There are some names based on their position in the sentence. They are only taking what? Kasra. Jade. That is what makhfudat. You see, Ibn Ājrūm never say what? Al-majrurat. You say what? Al-makhfudat. Jade. So automatically, if you are studying Al-Ājrūmiyya, you are going to study 6 things, and you need to master these 6 things. So this is the fahwa of what? Al-Ājrūmiyya. Jade. So here we are going to pause for today's class. In our next class now, we will now go straight away to Babu al-Kalam. and we'll start reading from the book properly. So this is just a brief introduction. وَجَزَاكُمُ khayra. And I see that the time has gone, inshallah. So we pause here, inshallah, till we meet in our next class next week. And the door is very much.
جزاكم الله خير يا شيخنا.
وجزاكم أخانا أحسن الله إليكم.